Hello? I don't know. Hi! I'm so glad you're here. New Year's Eve is in 3 days, and though I'm not going anywhere and just having a cozy stay-at-home kind of New Year's Eve, as I usually do, I want to make a New Year's Eve dress. Specifically, this one. I drew this when I had a coffee page, and I had to have something to give supporters every month, so the reward used to be coloring pages drawn by me and artwork drawn by me, as well as stickers, but those didn't really pan out. And so every month I drew a character that kind of felt like the vibe of the month or was centered around a major holiday in that month. So this is Annie Nouveau, which is a play on New Year. I've always loved this design and I knew someday I would make it, but I didn't know when. And so this year I just thought, why not? So we're gonna do it. The end result is going to be just a touch different than the sketch based on the materials that I have. For her blouse, I did go to Michael's and get this shiny blue, but I'm a bit hesitant because it's a bit more vibrant than the one in the drawing, which is more of a navy blue. But I did get this specifically with that in mind, just as a backup, especially because recently I feel like I've been restarting a lot of my dresses. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. But then I thrifted these navy blue sequin table runners, so I feel like that might be a more fun option as far as sparkle content in this New Year's dress. For the skirt, I might be combining two of these materials. Yeah, my plans for the skirt changed entirely right after I recorded this. I was originally going to make a large multi-layered tulle skirt, which I've never made before, because that's what I remembered the drawing looking like. However, after struggling to cut out the tulle, I looked at the drawing again, realized that she does not have a multi-layered tulle skirt. It's just a gold skirt. So I decided to make my life 10 times easier and use a gold thrifted tablecloth that I already had, and had actually already cut out to at one point make a Snow White cosplay, but I decided to just use it for this and make my life easier. So yeah, the plans changed entirely, but I go on for quite a while trying to explain this tulle skirt, so I had to jump in and clarify. On the edges of the skirt, I'd like to have Roman numerals to make the skirt a clock face, because, you know, strike of 12, time component is kind of a big thing on New Year's. I do have glitter gold iron-on vinyl that I would love to use for the numbers, and as far as accessories go, I'd like to make a sash or a belt thing that hangs down shaped like clock hands, so that it's they're the hands of the clock on the skirt. And then the other accessory I want to make is a lighted halo headband. I did make one of these for Christmas and I kind of tried to make it look like a Christmas wreath, but I want this one to look like fireworks, and I think I have the perfect lights to put on the top of it that kind of look like fireworks, so I'm very excited to make this work. I have 3 days until New Year's Eve when I'd like this to come up, so really I have maybe a day and a half to make the dress and a day and a half to edit, so I'm gonna stop talking and get to work. Everything up until this point was going pretty smoothly. The bodice was all put together, and that meant it was time to move on to the skirt. So I started making digital files for the Roman numerals and sent them over to my computer to be cut out on the Cricut. I got 9 in before I realized I hadn't made the background transparent, which means it would not have cut out the numbers, it would have just cut out a giant rectangle. In the end, I decided to arrange, trace, and cut them out by hand, which was for the best because I didn't have a lot of the gold left and was afraid that if I tried to do it on the Cricut, I wouldn't be able to arrange it as efficiently and I would have wasted a lot of the gold. Then I started ironing them on and realized about 4 or 5 in that I had put them on backwards. I had made a clock face that ran counterclockwise. But at that point there was no going back, so I just went full steam ahead. While I didn't get everything done today, I did get a substantial amount of work done on the dress. I'm gonna iron on some more little markings on the clock face of the skirt, and then once that's done, I'll attach the skirt to the bodice, and then after that's done, we'll have to do the belt and the headband, but I'm not gonna worry about any of that tonight because it is quite late. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello! It's the next day. I think in 2025 we're gonna see a lot more lights in my hair because this makes me very happy. I'm gonna finish ironing on the details on the skirt and then attach the skirt to the bodice, and then the dress in essence will be done, and then we'll just have to work on details like the firework crown and the clock hand belt. So yeah, there's still some stuff to do, but it doesn't seem like too much, so I'm gonna get to work. I realized upon continuing the ironing process that not only had I put everything on backwards, but my spacing was atrocious. But again, too late to go back. When it came to making the clock hands, I tried to make the curvy, swoopy, pointy ones instead of just plain arrows. And I did so by making a tube and drawing the shape out with tailor's chalk and just sewing along those lines to make a tube shaped like a clock hand. And in the drawing I had lined them with gold, so obviously I had to do that in real life, even though the process was quite tedious, took a very long time, and it does look good, even if it is a little messy. And on the end of each, I made a little loop so that they could be strung onto the belt and moved around the clock face like clock hands. And I do like how they look, even though they are a bit curly, and I wish I had figured a way to make them straighten out. But I put some hook and eye clasps on the back, and the belt was done, which meant it was time for the headband. When I opened the battery pack, it was full of rusty battery acid. So I googled how to clean it, and it said vinegar would do the trick. I don't know, I'm just following Google's instructions. I took the batteries out, placed them in a plastic bag, and used some Q-tips to clean out the battery pack. This took a while, and by the time I was done, it was all clean and it did turn on again, so mission accomplished. Or so I thought. I just finished putting the lights on the headband, wrapping ribbon around it, and now it's not turning on. I'm gonna take it all apart and see if I can fix it. I couldn't. I really wanted these to work for this because I could make them look more like fireworks. I don't know what went wrong. In the end, I couldn't fix the headband, it wouldn't turn on, and the battery pack was getting very hot, so I didn't want to risk putting that near my head, especially after what happened with my mug warmer. I'm a little wary of heated components, or things heating up when they're not supposed to. And it took some trial and error, but eventually I cut up some holographic paper and cut the ends to look a bit more like sparklers, and added some little stars to it. And I think I actually like it better than the original idea. And then once this is fixed, everything will be done. So it's time for the reveal. I love it. I'm really happy that I finally made this design. Ever since drawing it, I've wanted to make it a reality, and even though it's not quite exact, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I love how it looks. I think it's very cute. I kind of kept thinking about this character while I was putting this together and like developing lore behind it. Because first of all, she's old. She's as old as calendars are. She is rather old, but I had this idea that she kind of ages quite quickly throughout the year, and then on New Year's, her youth returns to her to start a new year, anew and youthful and whatever, but her hair stays the same gray or white that it was when she first reached that age. And I had this idea that because of the confetti and the sparkle and everything that happens with New Year's, that she kind of creates a new year out of stardust and sends it down. Then I keep thinking way too deeply about the lore behind Miss Annie Nouveau because I really like this character idea and I'm glad I finally put it together. There are some things that I would change. The headband I think actually looks really good. I don't know if you can see it. Look at how cool it looks. And it looks even better with the lights out. Wow, it looks so good. Wow. I'm a little obsessed with the headband. Let there be light. Oh, even though the headband was supposed to be the easiest part of this project, it ended up giving me the most trouble, which par for the course, really. Turns out I have a pattern of underestimating things that I should have estimated. So maybe in the new year I'll stop underestimating things and just be overwhelmed by everything, which will not be hard. I do that anyway. All jokes aside, what I mean is that I think I'll just not underestimate anything and just put everything at the same level of need. Need, requirement, skill, time, all of the above. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I should really script these. Maybe I'll do that in the new year. A couple other things I would change. I would also make the Roman numerals a bit larger and perhaps not a glittery gold. I think they get a little bit lost. I could barely show them in the reveal because it was kind of hard to catch the light just right to see them. So I think if they were a bit bigger and perhaps black instead of gold, it would be a bit more clear that it's supposed to be a clock face. These are all just nitpicky things because, believe it or not, I am a perfectionist. But the actual biggest problem I have with this dress is the sequins. They are digging into my skin as we speak. It is quite uncomfortable. After I tried it on yesterday, I had some scratches on my shoulder and I was thinking, did Pearl get me at some point? I don't think. Did I have a pin left in the dress? And then it hit me that it was the sequins. It's all scratched up, and what's worse is that it's itchy because it's all scratched up. So it makes me want to scratch it more. Though the lining is nice and soft and silky and smooth, the sequins are a bit intense. So the only real thing I would fundamentally change about the dress is the material that I make the top out of. Everything I said I would change or fix is really just a nitpicky remark because I really like it. And if you like it too, you can let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see what I'm doing next and join the channel, hit And if you want to see what I'm doing next and join the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post, hit the notification bell and YouTube will let you know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a safe and happy holiday season, happy new year, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Now I get to clean up my photo corner.